Welcome back, everyone. theCUBE's live coverage of AWS reInvent 2025. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE. This is my 13th reInvent. Been to most of them except for the original, and it's been a great journey to see how the transformation of just the basic concept of abstracting away the infrastructure and then higher level services have really grown the market, obviously made cloud computing, but now we're at a new area where the agentic infrastructure is abstracting away work and data and new capabilities, AI native capabilities, and new levels of services are coming on. We got a great guest here, PQ, who's the VP of Amazon AWS Connect, one of the most successful projects that was born out of the scale of AWS. PQ, thank you for coming on theCUBE, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
Amazon Connect is like huge. So first of all, scope the size of AWS, Amazon, it's Amazon Connect, right?
Amazon Connect.
Amazon Connect,
yeah.
AWS, Amazon. Scope the size of it because it is really one of the working examples of what has come out of the scale of AWS as a new service, and COVID hit and then the rest is history.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride. I mean, we launched 8 years ago, and I was kind of joke, it's another overnight success, but we launched with a very simple service. It was just about giving the power of AI to customers natively. That's only accelerated in the last few years, and now with our launches this week, and we had 29 of them, we've moved to a size of a system where AI is touching every touch point across the entire journey of a customer, whether that starts in some place where they're self-servicing and getting helped by AI, and now they can do it with a fully agentic AI, all the way to a human being who are on the other side, and really we think of those as AI teammates for those humans to be able to then take that full context there, and then after everything's wrapped up and hopefully they've solved the customer's problem or helped the customer achieve their goals, at that point then it can even take on all that lame work that nobody wants to do afterwards, like taking notes or trying to do codes, and you probably didn't hire those agents because they were good at taking notes in the first place, so the AI does a much better job and it never gets bored. So between those two things, we're really taking AI, making it better by the human side of it, and then making the human superhuman with the AI.
And this came out of Amazon's internal IP revenue. You guys had a milestone that was talked about here. I'll let you deliver the number.
Yeah, well, it's very exciting for us. It's $1 billion is a few businesses like that, it starts to add up, as they say. But you got something really going on. But for us, we're very mission driven in the team, and so we'll take a moment to celebrate the fact that that's an interesting one. And that's just the software. That's not any of the other ancillary services and things like that, and support or anything like that. But what we're really excited about is just the scope of what people are doing with Connect. And so if I look at the numbers, I'm most excited to report on. Last year here, I told people we did 6 billion minutes of AI enhanced experiences for end customers. Our customers did those with their end customers, I should say. And this year, that number jumped all the way to 12 billion. So in just 1 year, it more than doubled. And on a very big number already, that's very impressive. I've got 20 to 30,000 customers daily doing more than 1 billion interactions a day on Connect now. That to me is sort of mind blowing. And I will say, I don't know if we don't have the final numbers in yet, but our number on Monday, Cyber Monday this week was by far a new record of usage because we've seen such rapid growth of the business in the last year.
It's interesting. A lot of people in the call center sector, just only a couple of years ago, just kind of, came to the religion of, wow, we have a lot of data. You guys had this from day one. Share the first principles around how you guys laid out Connect, because you guys had done the AI native work kind of before it was fashionable.
I think that's true, and it's a great point. The thing you bring up that I think is you have to start on a foundation that understands that first off you have to have a uniform system that works across all your channels all the way you build it. So we didn't buy anything to create Connect. We built everything from the ground up to be able to treat every chat, every voice interaction, every task that may not even have a customer component on it as the same thing. And that means every time we innovate with AI, it touches those things the same way. And so one of the reasons why that really matters is if you think about an interaction that might move across those channels or have follow-ups, you can then have all your data just make sense. So it's not just the integration points that can be hard if you're using disjoint systems, but your data doesn't match up, then you don't have the ability to actually understand it. And so, I mean, half the time, half the job is just being able to see the information you need. So we've made that super simple with Connect, and so that's why customers can move so quickly.
PQ, you guys work backwards from the customer, but you got now so many customers. There's so many use cases. There's a lot of slicing and dicing the UX or CX experience. Take me through your news. You just guys 29 announcements here at reInvent. That's a lot. I mean, Amazon always has great announcements, but your group only had 29. What are you working backwards from? What's the pattern that you're seeing? Because again, you have a very diverse use case. Big call centers, big companies, small, medium-sized businesses. I mean, it's a service.
Yep. The thing about it is we wanted to democratize AI for folks. And so with the launches right now, Connect now actually just is AI. And that's how I tell people. I say, this is an AI solution. I don't talk about contact center anymore because we have such a broad set of use cases. Internal to Amazon, some of our largest use cases have always been around tasks with no customer component. Now, it's hard to explain that too. And then, some of our businesses, when they first see it, because they really want to fix their contact center challenges. So we'll start with the contact center things, but we move well beyond that. And whether it's for a sliced pizza, who is a relatively small business compared to, say, someone like a Barclays, and some of the world's largest airlines like Delta, Air France. It's those folks are incredibly excited to be able to scale up their access to AI. And so the principles we work back from are get past checkpoint features, get into actually delivering solutions, and then work with those customers as partners to make sure they're really getting the results.
What was some of the news? Just break it down, the 29 news announcements. Would you categorize them as, some technical? Were they more front end? I mean, just lay out the kind of categorical. I mean, it's a lot of news.
Everything from stuff that might be kind of boring and mundane, like performance, but even more interestingly, like people love better performance, but it's kind of not exciting, all the way up to being able to now create fully agentic experiences and going agentic only if you want to. So someone can have a completely agentic solution for all of their customer engagement. And also then using that same AI to power and act as a concierge that actually supports both the end customer and the agent to make a fully if you want to, a fully all human agents experience. Now, almost nobody's going to do just either one of those things. What they're really going to do is they're going to use some deterministic AI and workflows and plug the whole thing together. But now with just a few edits inside of Connect, you can actually bring generative AI to help transform the experiences you've already built in Connect with those legacy deterministic flows and also empower your agents. So I would say the number one thing we've done is like democratize AI across that entire experience, and people can move into the agentic era at their own pace now.
What's interesting, you mentioned the deterministic piece. That's check the box, nail those workflows. What came out of the frontier agent portion of Matt Garman's keynote was the agents can do longer thinking things and do experiments. So that's kind of like a non-deterministic view. So take us through the distinction, how you see the AI playing in that, okay, I locked down all the workflows, there are some things that are deterministic, but now the new opportunity is going to be, how do I leverage some of these black swan type workflows that you might not think about, but like there could be magic in there.
That's exactly right. And the thing is, in 2 years, I don't think people will talk about agentic AI at all. Really, just like people don't say they're an internet company anymore. But in the interim, we're all going to become agentic AI companies, where that agentic AI is acting as a teammate to help improve the performance of the people. And one of the big things, as you kind of point out, is that folks find themselves awash and drowning in information and data that they really can't leverage very easily. One of the big launches we had actually lets you fully understand your contact center just by actually typing in and asking questions about what's happening there, and then doing configuration. So we made all of Connect AI accessible, so you can actually manage it through AI too. That way, every touch point inside of Connect, whether you're an end customer, an agent, or or even a manager, is now improved by it. And you won't notice that. You don't need to understand it. We're going to come in. The AI is going to meet you where you are. So you don't even have to, as a user of this on any one of those levels, you don't have to understand whether it's agentic or not. Just have an awesome experience.
Do you hear a lot around the domain-specific intelligence? Because one of the quotes in my interview with Matt Garman, he didn't say this in the keynote, but he said it to me. His quote was, "Generic tokens are useless unless they know your business." That's from Matt. What he was basically saying is, you got to kind of tokenize. This is where Nova set up. This is the domain-specific intelligence frame. Take me through your thoughts on this and your vision, because this is where these companies have domain-specific things. The workflows are domain-specific, the products, the customers.
Yes. So when you think about agentic, I think of it as being an understanding portion, which adds value just by itself. There's reasoning, which then takes it and makes it into something more interesting. Then there's the ability to act, which then changes the fact that instead of just saying, hey, here's some information, I'm actually going to take action on your behalf. And finally, you want to be able to measure and utilize that to keep growing in that memory piece you're talking about. Connect builds all of that into our core system. And then we also allow people to bring new models in as well. And so later this year, we'll actually fully orchestrate third-party and first-party models in here. That's coming soon. And the thing about that is, to your point, people are going to need special case models that do certain things, like one that really understands questions, how you want to do something as mundane as baggage transfers, or something as interesting as like changing an appointment, but you have to understand how those appointments have to line up with the different people in it. Those types of things are stuff where an agent might be specialized, and then it plugs into all the other ones. Connect is started from there because we've always been where AI rubber meets the road.
It's real world too.
Yeah, it's real world, and so it's not okay. It's not great to just talk about it. You've got to be about it.
Yeah, take me through the real world example, because I think that's the killer case study. And if you think about the treasure trove of data, just the synthesis, forget the innovation for the human who's on the point of support or point of leveraging the value. There's also kind of like you can abstract away the knowledge from the corpus.
Yep. I can give you a great real world example with someone like DoorDash. And the thing that they did is they said, we've got these folks who wake up every morning and they decide, are they going to drive for me or are they going to go drive for some competitor? And they have no requirement to do either. They can do whatever they want. And so if they have a question or they need something fixed and they have to wait on hold, they're not going to sit there and wait for that. They're just going to go pick someone else and go do it there. So DoorDash said to us, how can we build this into Connect and really accelerate the answers to those questions? So we did a ton of work with them to go understand the business and the needs of those folks, and we started powering answers to questions, basic updates to things, and then as soon as there's an issue that can't be solved that way, then we take all of that context and hand it right in a beautiful little package to the people who can help them, a human being. And then after that's all done, again, all that information goes back, we learn from it, it's all recorded in a way that's much more detailed and much more useful than if a human being tried to take notes while they're being told, get back to work.
Okay, this might be a question that hits the third rail inside the Amazon, but I'll ask it anyway. Matt Garman said 3 to 6 months, these agents are part of your team. How are you using some of the internal Nova-Kiro? Because one thing I like about Kiro, for instance, is that from a coding standpoint, it learns your environment. It knows your preferences. I'm assuming Connect has a similar kind of vibe where it's like, hey, I know the environment, and I get smarter.
That's exactly right. We, in fact, did integrated Nova speech-to-speech is GA in Connect as of a couple of days ago, so that is another one of our big announcements. And also,
that's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's amazing, and it sounds
bi-directional.
Great. Yep, and it's awesome. It's a huge improvement, and it's only going to get better. All this stuff is and as it gets better, our customers just get it for free. They don't have to do any work to go integrate new stuff. We just keep making it better.
Talk about the bi-directional, because the latency is a huge. You don't want speech to be delayed.
Yeah, the thing that's interesting about that is honestly the problems around latency are so often the integration points, and that's why I talked about having the system be built from the ground up to work that way, because it's not a lot of times when you call into any of the systems, they're not slow because they can't talk fast enough. It's because they're waiting for those back-end systems. So we pull all that data from all over the enterprise into one place so you can get it, and then the speech-to-speech makes it sound really nice. It can even responsively react to say, in my demo I showed earlier, I say, hey, I'm in a rush. Can we hurry this up? And it starts talking faster. I mean, these are magical kind of things that even if I told a person to do that, they might struggle to respond to, right?
Yeah, I have to ask this because there's so much going on. But I mean, this is like we need an hour just to unpack Connect. What's the coolest thing that you're working on right now, or have announced that you're showing here, or coolest thing that you launched and
the coolest thing I have announced,
and the coolest thing that you're working on now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a game changer to be able to have an interactive experience like the one I showed in my demo, and I encourage folks to go take a look at it online, where it just shows how this thing can be human-like, but not try and trick you into thinking it's a human, and take all that information and pass it through the entire experience. So the whole thing is a thing of delight as opposed to a thing of pain, the operator experience. And then and I love that. The thing I'm most excited about is taking all of the capabilities we've built around this to make human beings in the contact center exceptional, and making folks in the back office all over the different parts of business who do lots of high volume, sometimes repetitive work, some of it's not very much fun, and eliminating all the boring stuff that's not useful, turning them into human beings who have all the information they need at their fingertips, and even can walk them through every step of what they're doing so they can actually relax and just achieve the goals that being a human being you want to do every day. Almost everyone wants to be great at their jobs. How often is the technology was holding them back? Let's get rid of all of that.
Well, Connect actually hits kind of the core ethos of the principle of undifferentiated heavy lifting, because there's a lot of stuff there that like you don't want to do, and then that gives the superpower to the human to either think creatively or do some high value task.
It's amazing you say that, because one of the big things is generative AI and now agentic has really stepped in and changed fundamentally the conversations I have with customers in a way that's wonderful, because a lot of times I'd sit down with them and we'd be talking about speeds and feed stuff, and I'm like, that's not going to change your business. We've got to get you into a world where your customers are becoming more loyal to you. Every time someone contacts you, it's not a chance to get rid of them. It's a chance to build a relationship. And to that point, like now that's the conversation we're having. I used to say pick 3 things. Now I just say let's fix everything. because we can go so much faster.
All right, so what's your focus now? What are you optimizing for next year? Obviously, reInvent's going to happen. People take a vacation, a couple days.
Yep.
Amazon maybe a day off.
Yeah, no days off.
What's your focus? What are you optimizing for next year? What's your big agenda?
Time to outcome. I want the whole thing I want to build on is we've now built these things where we can get these incredible results. I want to have people getting those results in an hour. You can set up, take a call in 5 minutes right now. Like literally, you could have your own contact center. I want to have it so you can set up and take a call, and that call feels magical in less than an hour. So I'm challenging my team to go do.
Awesome.
Magic. I want magic.
Final question. The shirt. Give us a little, show the shirt. What's the meaning behind the shirt? That's a clever shirt there. It's one of the most unique on the Cube.
So in my demo was all about my secret love of K-pop, and so I was showing how I had a problem and I needed to get some stuff fixed and how we could make that a good experience versus a bad one. And at the end of my demo, I come out in a shirt that I had ordered from and had redirected to the Venetian so I could wear it for my demo. And so all week I've been wearing different K-pop shirts too, and this is a celebration of one of them. So it's been a great fun time. If you're not having fun doing your job, I don't know why you do it, but I do love my job and my team loves doing what we're doing.
Yeah, great shirt. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Again, Connect is really kind of a huge success story. And it's one of those things where companies now are, as they come into the AI scale, you see opportunities that you can go after. And I think this is not just an opportunity for Amazon, your customers.
Oh, yeah.
Once they get there, scale is a huge advantage.
Yeah, we see them as a team. We don't see ourselves as a vendor. We see ourselves as a partner with them to achieve that. And one of the things that makes it seamless for them is they never have to worry about the fact that we can go to essentially an infinitely large contact center, an infinitely large workload, and it just goes with them. They don't have to go buy more capacity or worry about any planning. We just make it happen for them. It's freeing for them. Like it lets their brain think about the exciting stuff, not the lame stuff that it's not productive.
PQ, thank you for sharing, and congratulations on the success, continued success, and a lot more work to do.
Yeah, so much more work to do, but we're having so much fun doing it, and we're getting great results right now.
29 announcements, puts stress on the system. I mean, thousands of announcements here at reInvent. The Cube can barely keep up. Of course, go to siliconeagle.com. A lot of great stories there. We're doing our part, bringing you the data here. Thanks for watching.